Okay, I've got the customer provided artwork in a Corel drawing at a 1:1 scale. You can see that the overall height is 5 foot by 104 inches wide. We're going to make these channel letters on a raceway. Okay, that's not someone knocking on the door, that's a stinking refrigerator making some kind of idiot sound. I don't know if you can even hear it, if the microphone's picking it up, but it just threw my whole game off. Alright, so, how are you going to make these channel letters? Well, first of all, you got to represent the trim cap. That's represented right here. I just changed it to a different color. This is simply going to be opaque matte black vinyl on the face of the plexiglass acrylic letter forms. And again, this is representing the trim cap. Up here, same thing. You got white faces. They don't look very white. And then you got black trim cap as represented there. Now, I like to make my trim cap 0.150. A little bit bigger than a eighth when you're looking straight at it, but not quite 3/16. So you can see up here 0.15. So that's what I make my trim cap. Full size. This is a full size, ready to export as a DXF and then bring it into Solidworks. So I can just grab it all, Control E, export it as a DXF, which I believe I already did. Let's put it in the right place. Yeah, we got second and third try DXF files, so I'm not going to do it again, but you just send it out as a DXF. Alright, I'll do it again. I'll call it Crafty. Call it UT for YouTube. Okay, whatever. I just want you to see this dialog box that comes up next. I always leave it default. Defaults in my CorelDraw, which I guess I'm using version 19. It defaults to AutoCAD 2007, 2019, inches, JPEG, curves, color black, and I just say okay. Alright, I think the biggest takeoff here is to make sure you export a line that represents trim cap. I'll show you why in a minute. Let's turn this to a wireframe view. See what I mean? We got 150 outline that represents trim cap. Over here we've got 150 represents trim cap. We got the vinyl represented that'll be on the face of the sign. And of course I could show you how I cleaned up all that vector art maybe in another video, because believe me, when it came from the customer it was not clean. Now this is a little bit iffy right here, but I'm not going to worry about it. That's for them to the people applying the vinyl to decide. Be an easy fix. Okay, let's head on over to SolidWorks. Alright, I'm trying to make shorter, faster tip videos. I know some of you don't want to watch an hour-long video, but I'm pretty sure others would. But I'm working on shorter. So let's go File, New Part. Okay. Take the front plane. Insert the DXF. Go find the file. There we go. Open it. I always uncheck import as a reference. In this step, don't even worry about it. Just say finished. Alright, there it is, looking good. So we're about to have a bunch of fun. Okay, first thing I want to do is extrude my channel letters 3 inches. enter 3. Don't even have to worry, just hit enter, 3 inches. I'm going blind. Now, the thing you want to do is pick the right line to extrude. Okay, so we're trying to extrude not the trim cap, but the letter. And we want to go the other way, away from us. So switch directions here. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. That one. That one. These are your selected contours. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Now, might as well get down here and see what we can do. I think it'd be that and that. Yeah, and that. That. I'm going to go with even that, the inside, and that'll become clearer in a second. That, 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 that. That, and that. Say OK. There we go. Click off of it. We've got our metal letter forms. Super fun, right? Super easy. Okay, let's do another extrude. This will be the trim cap. And it's asking us to pick a plane, a planar face, or an existing sketch. Of course, we're going to pick the same sketch. And we're not going to merge the result. We're going to take off in one direction for 1 inch. We're also going to have a second direction on this because the trim cap, as we all know, sticks up above the surface of the face a little bit, and we want it to look like real trim cap when we're done. So let's go, I don't know, 0.15. That sounds good to me. So now we have it going in 2 directions. And hopefully, even though in SolidWorks, if it picks the wrong direction, by default, we can change it. So now we're after what represents the trim cap right there. See it? Okay, I can tell you right away it's going the wrong direction. We want to switch that. That makes the first blind direction go away from us for 1 inch and the second one come towards us for 0.15. And when we're done, it's going to look like real trim cap. Okay, now we just go pick all the trim cap. And this was the reason for the way we exported out of Corel. Knowing you have to have these lines that represent the trim cap. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, we want to get the inside one. There it is. We want to get this little dot thing. There. We want to get up. Up, see? Messed up, but I can just click it again. You got to wait till it's filled in red like that, you see? Can't just select the edge. It gets confused what you're trying to accomplish. But you get used to it. Okay, trim cap here. Got to find it. See, it'll wake up in a second. There we go, right there. See it? Over here, same thing, right there. Over here, same thing. Over here. There it is. Over here. There. And on the C. Great. Okay. And say OK. Now look at what we got. We got channel letters with trim cap. Yes. Gonna look nice when we take it into Visualize. Yes. Now, if you want to have some fun, you can right click on Boss Extrude, change the color of the Boss Extrude to some color representing the letters. You know, I don't know. Whatever color you want them to be. Let's go red. If you want to get in the advanced here and illuminate them a little, it just kind of makes them pop. You know, it's all going to get changed when we get to visualize, but say okay. Now you got red letters and you got some kind of gray default colored trim cap, so you could right click the boss extrude that represents trim cap and you could change the color of it, change the boss extrude, and I'd like to have white trim cap, put a little pop illumination on it. There we go. Now you can tell the difference between them. Now you might be asking yourself, where's the faces? Okay, that's a good question. All we got to do there is tell it we want to color only the face white with some illuminated pop. 41 is my favorite number. Thank you very much. Close enough to 41. There we go. 42, 1. There we go. Now look at that. White face, white trim cap, red channel letter. Starting to look good. Now an easy way to copy this is select the face and hold down Control-Shift-C. Then come over here, grab this, Control-Shift-V. Tell it you want only the face. Do it again, but this time Control-Shift-V. We're going to lock the little fly out. And now everything we touch is going to know that we want the face colored. Control-Shift-V. Control-Shift-V. Because it's willing to color the face, the extrusion, which is the feature, the body, the part. We just want the face. Control-Shift-V. Control-Shift-V. And because we got the fly out pinned here, we don't have to choose each time. Control-Shift-V. Control-Shift-V. I'm sure there's also a faster way to select all the faces, but I don't care. My fingers need exercise. Control-Shift-V. Let's do the same thing with the coffee faces. Control-Shift-V. 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 Now you can close out your pop-out, fly-out window. Nice, huh? Okay, let's go ahead and save it. Just gonna call it, I don't know, State Coffee UT. I guess that's gonna become my new secret coding for YouTube. Good. Now, what do we need next? We need the drop shade. So we're going to do another extrude. We're going to ignore this and pick the same sketch we've been using on everything. You fly that out. You pick the sketch there. This time we don't want to merge the result. We only want this vinyl to be real thin, 0.001. Let's try that. That's real thin, 0.005. Okay, now let's pick the contours that we want. We want that, and that, and that, and that, because we're not going to have this letter channeled in the middle. It's just going to be black vinyl. Done. Say okay. Now, looking good, except, wait a minute. Boss 3, we need to change the color of the extrude to black. There it is. Okay, we're ready to take this thing into Visualize. Now remember, I could do a lot more, but I'm trying to keep the video to a certain length. So, let's take it into Visualize. Okay, we got SolidWorks on the tab there. Hopefully everybody knows how to make sure you've got that tab available. I always export advanced, not simple. Took me a while to learn the difference, and I'm not going to bother to explain it right now, but export advanced. Now it's going to open Visualize, and we're off to the races. Now, I am not a professional with Visualize. I am learning. I'm not a professional with SolidWorks. I'm learning, but I'm 42 years in the sign business. I know how to get stuff done. Okay, so it opens up, and of course you can move it around. Look for the cool angle. You know, I'd like to think since it's a sign, it needs to be kind of seen like you would see from the ground. It doesn't matter. We can change that anytime we want. But let's head over here, and first of all, it shows the colors we're using as it came over. It shows the environment we're in, which I like this high contrast ramp better. Then of course you can rotate the lights and get different highlights flashing off of different parts of your sign. You can kind of see it over there. We're not ready for any of that yet. I can definitely change the back plate, which is just the background, and I have a bunch of them to choose from. Daytime, like to throw little clouds in there, you know, everybody loves clouds. Yep. Cool, right? And again, we just maneuver the sign. Kind of difficult to, you get used to it using the mouse scroll wheel to position it. But here's where we're going to have some fun. We could render it right now, and if I'm going to render it, it's going to ask me what kind of rendering do I want to do. I like to do a PNG. Where do you want to put it? I like to put it in same folder, second try. I probably should have made a folder that said, you know, UT, YouTube. Probably drop those other files in there anyhow. And that's where we want it to end up when we're done rendering. Select that folder, and now it's filled in here. It's going to be a PNG. It's going to render in inches, 13.8 by 10 at 150 DPI resolution. That's fine with me. Or pixels per inch, whatever you want to say. And I start rendering, and it'll change to this other tab, and it'll begin to render, and you can already see, hey, looks pretty good. Looks like real channel letters, even though they look like they're sitting on the ground. They're sitting on the ground in heaven. Yes. Okay, so we could abort that if we want. Just abort it, because we're not done by any means. Yes, I want to abort it. Thank you. I want to go back into the render room, and I want to change the view to this direction. Don't ask me why. And what I really want to do is play around with these colors, like for instance, white. The white is the faces, and I guess the white is also the trim cap. So what do we want it to look like? Plastic? Sure. So let's right click here and add a new appearance. And this one is going to be emissive white, which means it gives off a pop like it's illuminated. It's emitting white light, and that we're going to drag onto the face. There you go. Wunderbar. It's going to make a whole lot of difference in the finished result. Now, it looks like it's cratering because our vinyl is so thin, but I don't think it's cratering for real. Let's just finish coloring these faces with the emissive white appearance that we didn't stop and give a name to. You know, I'm not into doing all that stuff. I'm into skipping all that stuff. But I guess other people are into it. Name everything just right, stay organized, blah, blah. I usually do, except I'm just trying to knock out this video at the end of my day. Trying to create more training videos. probably what I'm going to do for fun when I'm retired. Okay, there we go. Now, if we wanted to check out the result, we could render again. Jumps into the render room, begins to render, and already you can see, hey, the faces are popping a lot more white. In fact, it looks like they're throwing off light onto the floor here. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, we're going to abort this. Go back into the project room. Let's get over here and check out another back plate. Let's do something funky and cool. Weird or cool. Fire. Nah, that's too weird. Let's go back to plain or colored backgrounds. Pop up the blue velvet. Wow. Then throw a render down. Blue velvet. Not bad, but we're not done. Let's abort. Takes a minute to abort. I must remind everyone that I'm remoted into my work computer from my house. Just kind of proves that my AT&T fiber internet is good. 500 megabytes, I guess, per second. That's the package I chose for about $60 a month. And then my computer at work is real kick-ass, and I'm using Google Remote. Yeah, Chrome Remote Desktop to remote into my work computer and make this video. Now let's go back to the black. See, the black that we're using as matte finished opaque vinyl, it's giving off the appearance of plastic. We're going to change that to a matte finished black. And already, bada boom, it's going to look better. So let's render again. There we go. Now we got some good looking channel letters. And I think I've got the render engine set to make like 500 passes. And I'm guessing the larger number of passes, the better it's going to be when it's finished. I mean, looks good enough for me right now anyhow. And it's already finished. If I click this button right here, I can open the folder where it's located, and if I double click the image, which is a PNG, it'll open in my photo program, whichever one is default to open photos. I have to switch screens. This is how you switch screens in the Google Remote. There it is. It opened in some program, and it's looking pretty good. You can see the trim cap, the acrylic face, the matte black vinyl. You can see in reality how these letters are going to be channeled. I think it's awesome. You could put this on the cover page of your drawings, and you could have a real good time. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up. Let me change screens again here. There we go. Get rid of this. Over here. And I think that's going to be it. I did want to show you something. And just to make things a little more complicated, and I'll touch back on them more than once during the rest of my training career. But if I switch Control 1 to the straight on view and I look at this skinny little black right here, I don't like it. I like how thick this black is, and I don't like that. Well, with SolidWorks, I don't have to start over. I can just go to the sketch, edit the sketch, get over here, and do something about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this line over to where I think it's going to look better. And there's several ways to move this line, but that's good enough for me. And then I'm going to trim this, and this. Probably should zoom in closer. Then I'm going to escape out of the trim tool and take this into this sketch segment, hold down shift and get that into that sketch and make them horizontal. Then I'm going to escape out of that. I'm going to get my drawing tool and I'm going to take off with a line, but I'm going to go back and touch it again so it becomes a radius and escape out of that. Then I'm going to go down here, take my trim tool, trim all this. Hopefully you know how to work the trim tool. Escape out, take the end of that sketch segment, hold down shift, grab that one, make them horizontal, get my line tool, head away from here, go back and touch it again, turn it into a radius or an arc, escape out. There. Now I just did a vast improvement, and all I got to do is jump out of my edit sketch and oh, it looks a lot better. Guess what? It's going to look better in the rendering too. Now I hit save so it knows I want to keep my change, and I go back to visualize, and it's going to ask me blah 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 has been modified. Do you want to re-import it? If I say yes, I might be starting over, but I'm going to say yes. It always does that. It kicks back over to SolidWorks. Don't ask me why, but you see, we did lose certain things. Like, we can put them back real quick. We can put that back real quick. We can mess around with the rotation of the highlights and yada yada. But what else did we lose? I don't think we lost any of our colors. We've got emissive white on the face. We've got matte black. We've got some sort of plasticky trim cap color, which just for fun, let's monkey with it. Let's monkey with both these colors. I don't want plastic, I want paint. Paint. There we go. Do you see what it did to it? Kind of took all that gloss off of it. Even though it has a clear coat, I can reduce the clear coat. And let's look at the trim cap color. It's plastic, but I'm not sure I need that much highlights. Let's do more of a gray color of highlight, and then let's walk this white down just a little. Let's keep it over here though. And let's render again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think you can see what happened. The trim cap now looks a little bit more like real trim cap. It's not as white as the acrylic. The painted letter, yeah, looks matte finish, but that's cool. The vinyl looks matte finish. I think it's a kind of a cool way to show 3-inch deep channel letters with trim capped faces. Again, I can open up the folder, double click it, and it'll open up in my default, picture viewer program. It is a PNG file. Switch screens. There it is, full screen. It's got some resolution to it. If I wanted to render it at a higher resolution, I certainly could. If I wanted to put it on a building, the background was a building, I could certainly move it around till it looked correct by perspective. There's just so much you can do. I can't cover it all in one stinking YouTube tutorial. So, I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And we'll see you next time in Matt's, Signman Matt's Sign design world. Yeah. What were you going to do here maybe? Oh, render it at a higher resolution. Okay, well, I mean, go to 300 DPI, you know? Supposedly you cannot see that kind of detail on a screen, but I beg to differ. And then there are some other attributes to find, like how many passes we want it to make. This is a default profile. Ooh, here's a high resolution. Just dying to pick it and see what it says. What? That doesn't seem high resolution. Normal. Default. There's my default with my settings. I'm going to close that out for right now. I'm going to go over here and look for options. Here's where I think we choose how many passes it's going to make. All kinds of stuff to choose. Okay, I'm taking us into extra innings, but I think it's worth it. Export, preview. Somewhere give me a minute. Come on. Man. Somewhere in here you tell it how many passes to make. You have to go and hide it, right? Show camera panel. That's interesting. Project models, appearance, scenes. Now, you know, this is kind of the visualized light that comes with your premium or professional level SolidWorks. You're not going to get Visualize Professional, though, without paying for it. I guess you might have learned that already. All right, where is it? Tools, snapshot, render. Output file. Oh, I guess it's down here. Here we go. 500 render passes. And the quality, we can either choose preview or accurate, enable the denoiser. So let's see what this thing looks like. 500 passes at 300 DPI. You know, it's going to take longer, but if you're trying to present something really nice, it could be worth it. I don't think it's going to take that long. All right, I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done rendering. Okay, it's done rendering, and let's open the folder and have a look at it. Gonna have to change screens. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a little bit higher resolution, or maybe a lot higher. I can see it. Yeah, it's looking good. Really looks like trim cap, acrylic faces, matte black vinyl. And believe me, you can mess with it till the cows come home. There's so many things you can do. But I'm going to have to wrap it up and call it the end to this little tutorial, information gush, whatever you want to call it. I will try and put out more content. I've been asked by a couple of people. I could save this. Save as. I try to stay organized. All my stuff is in, one place. It's backed up to the cloud. State coffee, second try, Uti. There we go. State coffee, Uti. Maybe put the date on it, 02/28/24. I like doing that. That saves the Visualize project. Then I can close, exit out of Visualize. I'm back in SolidWorks. And alrighty then. That's it for now. I was going to put a raceway behind each one, but we'll just save that for another day. Alrighty.